Hey, what's happening? It should do the merciless Reese L. Black. Welcome back to the booth. Today, what I actually wanted to do is I wanted to correspond this video with the last solo video that I did. Of course, not too long ago, I just made a video pretty much on men's preferences for everybody else except black women. So today I wanted to address women's preferences and no longer dating black men. And it's okay. I think one of the things that a lot of people fail to realize is that, before I go on, this is not to offend anybody. I've said it before. You date who you want to date, whoever is best fit for you. But I think people are missing something. I think people have missed that black men and black women are still marrying each other. There's still a black love revolution going on, and it will never, ever go away. A lot of people in the past, actually, one of the things I did not know is, shout out to the Shimaki Way. He did a video pretty much on how black women were giving up on black men, right? And there were like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments under that video where they were agreeing with him how everybody pretty much just went non-black. They just started dating non-black men. They felt appreciated. They felt like queens. These non-black men were catering to them more. Okay, good job. And then you had people who were reviewing that video as well, who they were agreeing with them like, yeah, brothers, y'all need to get it together. But this is what's interesting. And a lot of folks haven't did the math. For one, plenty of black men have gotten it together. Now, what's interesting is they want to talk about get it together, but they never really itemize why. There's hella black men that got it together, just like there's hella black women that got it together. People have not really realized there are many platforms out there, even on social media, that pretty much dedicate a lot of pictures and videos of black couples expressing love one another, black couples having fun, black couples just doing lovey-dovey stuff. Even they're posting their weddings and things like that. And I think when that is not amplified, everybody thinks that there's this gender war. Now, is there a gender war? Yeah, but I don't even call it a gender war. It's more of a gender battle. There's not a war going on. And I think people have a misunderstanding about what's going on. There's plenty of black men who are well established, who got it together, that are in a lot of you ladies' friend zones. What a lot of these women don't know is that there's black men who are established, who are in friend zone, who actually have platforms themselves, who actually have podcasts themselves. Hell, even in the celebrity world, they got their own talk shows. Hell, there's just black men who are celebrities, who are single, well established, probably just don't have time to date. And if they do date, it's kind of hard for them to have that quality time for that woman, right? Because they're so busy, they're on their purpose, they're an entertainer. Or let's just remove the celebrity or remove the entertainer. These are probably like well-established men who got businesses, entrepreneurs, who just work 50 plus hours to keep their business afloat to the point where it was crucial finding time when it comes to dating. So a lot of these ladies may have just dipped because they just say, you never have time for me, you're always working, instead of maybe offering assistance like, hey, is there anything I can do? Can I be your little executive assistant? Can I bring you a coffee? Can I bring you a lunch? You really don't find too many women who are willing to ride that entrepreneur wave with him. They just wait until he returns and then they'll be able to kick it. And then that woman gets tired of that and she decides she wants to move on to something bigger and better. But a lot of these men are available and been waiting. The unfortunate part is these fellas, they also sit back and they watch what's going on in the modern dating market. They see what the women are complaining about these men, and they look at the numbers too. They're smart. We have way too many black women who dated one or two guys, amplifying their bad experience with these one or two guys. They're speaking on these one or two guys with other sisters who dated one or two guys, having panels, and it looks like black men just ain't shit. which is really, really, really not true. From the black men that develop apps to the black men that created, hedge fund companies, startups, charter schools. There are a bunch of black men out there that have built so much that you don't know about. Just because it's not posted online that a black man built this and created that, first black man to do that, doesn't mean that they are not there, that they're not available. Some may even argue, okay, yeah, but if he's so successful, he's not gonna date black anyway. That could be true too, because the circle does change. You don't see too many black women at the boss's party or whatever, or the governor's mansion or whatever. But then you have these men who are pretty much either having business around the grassroots area, local areas there, where there's a coffee shop, barber shop, like I said, charter schools. These are local areas. And these black men, they're around and they're waiting. But some of you guys just might not find them attractive. Now, when black women are saying we need to get it together, and you have a bunch of available men, it's been said they are looking for something wrong every time they run into this brother that is too good to be true. You have seen it and heard it multiple times. That's one of the things that they're not really amplifying. If anybody has watched a lot of platforms out there with a lot of the ladies who are in the dating market or whatever, they always have stories about a guy that they've met, but they only let it go once. This guy can do something as simple as misspell a word on his dating profile on an app or on a website, and they will completely remove him from the equation of being a possible contender. And that's another thing. A lot of you black women out there especially are treating men like this is a competition for you. You go online and you just take your pick. Oh, he misspelled this word. Nah, little itty bitty petty stuff is keeping you from actually finding somebody to be potential. Some of you guys are forgetting is like, hey, he has to like you too. I know a lot of you ladies actually go up in that dating market thinking like, I don't care if they don't like me or whatever. I still have options. Yeah, but you're still single. And then he had it together. How do you go out there dating expecting you to like him and not him to like you? That's where the battle is really beginning. A lot of you ladies avoid the men who got it together. You do. Even like in college, you go into like a Howard or something. A lot of those brothers are striving to be great. A lot of them graduated to be great. You just didn't like the fact that maybe he was square. No offense to the brothers out there who are square like myself. You didn't like the fact that he didn't like have an edge here and there. You didn't like the fact that there was nothing about him where you can tell a story to your friends about. He's boring. He ain't got no baby mamas. He never been locked up. And I'm not stereotyping you ladies thinking that that's all that matters. But there's nothing exciting about this dude to where you have to go brag to your friends about. I don't hear too many of the ladies talking about they want a guy, who's educated. All I just say, he just needs to get it together. You really want the guy who has nothing to get it together, because you physically and sexually found something attractive about this guy who didn't have anything. He didn't even have potential. You just kept riding along until he pretty much bettered himself. But what possibly ended up happening was he ended up cheating on you, and now you're hurt. That's why some of you guys say, I've been with him this long, I did this for him, I did that for him, and he gonna go and cheat on me? Screw men, screw black men, I'm done with all of them. There's a lot of established men out there doing their thing. What spaces are you going to where these men are not available? Yeah, some of them, they ain't got time to be at bars and nightclubs and stuff like that, and I'm only talking about the ones of you ladies that actually still do that. Some of these men, seminars, conventions, they're in a space that's going to basically escalate their purpose to greatness. I don't see too many platforms getting high numbers and viewers by the women of the brothers that get it together. People like Earn Your Leisure, they are a financial podcast. I don't see a bunch of women in droves going over to their channel, listening to their content because there's this, more financial and economic. They may not be the sexiest, attractive men, but they're smart, and sometimes that can bore you. And a lot of those men like that are single. A lot of them that are in investment banking and things like that, they got it together and they're single. They're available bachelors. But just because he may not swoon you, He may not be able to like hold a conversation with you. He doesn't have that game. He's just being polite. He's being a gentleman. He's not flirting because he's just respecting your space. And you may want him to flirt a little bit, but he just doesn't have it in his head to do that. And that's what keeps him single. You're going to call him boring. Yeah, because compared to the other dudes in the past who you kept talking to your friends about, crying to your friends about, yeah, this dude ain't shit. So when women are saying get it together and these men have it together, you put this guy in the friend zone. This dude is pretty much over here just like, she is really over here. She is really over here complaining about this dude to me. This dude is beneath me, and she's crying and complaining about this dude to me, and I have it together, and she won't give it a chance. So that whole myth about brothers ain't got it together, nah. The ones that you have chosen to be attracted to, they don't have it together. And then if they did get it together, now you got to worry about if he's really going to stay. And then what? All black men are trash. Now we're going to the he cheated. See, he got it together. All of a sudden he got a big head and now he don't want to be with me anymore. And I'm the one that basically paid his tuition. I'm the one who did this and I did that and I did that and I did that. The thing is, it's never going to stop. It's not. If you're going to like be with somebody who you expect to be of greatness when it comes to establishment, you can go higher. You can go into the 30s or maybe date somebody in the 40s who got it together. But then again, here come the excuses. Well, they play games too. It's always going to be a lose-lose situation for some of us brothers. No matter if we are established, too good to be true. Single, handsome and he's single, he must be gay. There's always going to be something wrong that you're going to spot out. But at the end of the day, there's so many single black women and single black men to where they actually really need to kind of get their head out of that mold and just spread out and just jump in the pool and date one another. But yes, I will admit, when the success change, the circle does change. He moves out of the hood, he goes into an affluent area, it's going to be less black. And most likely he's going to be running into somebody that happens to be attractive, somebody that happens to be, feminine, somebody that happens to like be a fit for him, that happens to be non-black. And yes, he'll wife her up. Just like some of you ladies said, y'all pretty much got wifed up by a man that treated you like a queen and worshiped you and everything. Things that a lot of brothers over here do want to do. Brothers are over here complaining about the attitude, and then you got the women over here complaining that brothers don't got it together. It's because they're hung up on one person for the same reason. Everybody's hung up on a loser. Everybody wants this loser to do better. Instead of just already just pursuing somebody great, whether they are black or not, you should be pursuing somebody that is a fit for you. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that vid out there. And you know how I do. I'm out this piece. Good evening, Mr. Black.